Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sean Carlson from Blackjack 98 Enterprises. I wanted to show you all the internal workings of a primer bulb on one of the Zama carburetors that I'm working on. So here we go. This here is the Zama carburetor that I'm working on. This is the numbers for it. I'm going to give everybody a look all around it. Now what happened was I got pissed off at this because I was wondering why the fuel was bubbling up in the primer bulb and the weed whacker was not running functionally. So I decided, since I have money, I might as well destroy the entire son of a bitchin' thing, take it all apart, and the primer bulb configuration, this goes on top of it. It's one of those ones where the primer bulb is attached to it, like that. So after pressing it several times, there's less fuel coming up, and I was wondering why. I couldn't figure it, but I took it all apart and I took a drill, like an actual drill. I went and drilled out those holes right there. You see those holes? So these here are the parts that were inside those holes. So I'm going to go through them very carefully as to how exactly this happens. So once I drilled out this hole, it's right here. This here is just a cap pressed into there. Underneath this cap was this valve and this spring. So this spring was holding up this valve against the bottom of this cap, which was in that hole. And this hole here is the return line for the fuel. So when you press the primer bulb, you're pressing the fuel in through this hole, and then it comes out through this hole. I think I've got it backwards, but you get the idea. So when you look at the bottom of the primer bulb, you see this here. So the part where the fuel comes out into the carburetor is this tiny hole right here that you see. That is directly connected. I'll try to get a better view of it. That little hole is connected to this hole. So when you press the primer bulb down, the fuel goes through this hole. It comes up this hole and through that one. This is the return. The fuel goes from this pipe back into the fuel tank, which means it goes in through this hole and comes up through this hole. So these here parts are what is inside those holes. So now that I got that completely taken apart, there is no putting this back together. There's no rebuild kit for this part of the carburetor. So it is completely destroyed. So that doesn't matter because I can always buy another one online, Wish or eBay or Amazon.com. But this carburetor came off a weed whacker, which is this one here, a Homelight Bandit SX135, and it was working for a little while, but like I said, it kept on shutting off. Fuel was not getting through, and it was not working 100%. So now that I destroyed the carburetor, I'm gonna buy a brand spanking new one, because this one is patooey. So I just wanted to share everybody that. And when it comes to these two jet screws, I took those out. Those were dismantled. Everything was taken apart except this here and this here. I left those in, but now that I got this all taken apart and know that it's garbage, I took all the internal parts and put them into my bag of leftover rebuild kits. So I'm going to get another one, and I'm going to follow up sometime soon with how this weed whacker works. I just wanted to show everybody that for now. Until then, have a good day.